Vision is an unbiased, non-attached way to live that allows you to form new ideas, images, and concepts beyond current and external senses and establish a more creative and resourceful approach to life. That's what vision is. This is where we're building this from. It's an unbiased, non-attached way to live. We can't be attached. We can't be biased. Our opinions, good, have them, but have your opinions ever served you in building a better world? Generally not. It's kind of where we are as a country, really as a globe, right? Right now, we're so opinionated that I can't even be in the same room as you and agree to disagree. A vision is, it's an unbiased, non-attached approach to life. That means I'm not holding on to the past. I'm not holding on to my fears. I'm not holding on to all of my limiting beliefs. I'm not holding on to all my habits and patterns. I'm actually living at a place where I am approaching life whole, unbiased, not attached, with the ability to form new ideas that are not attached to my current circumstances and establish a more creative and resourceful approach to life, which means there's no problem you can't overcome. There's no hurdle you can't overcome. There's nothing that could catch you off guard, so much so. There's no one who's done something so bad to you. There's no mistake that you've actually ever made that doesn't put you in the position as a creator of your life to continue to make decisions that are creative and resourceful based upon where you're going, not where you are or where you've been. Do you see the power in all of this already? Do you also see where maybe you're kind of attached, right? What this starts to do is we start to go, oh my gosh, I'm so attached to the things around me. I'm so attached to the news. I'm so attached to what my friends think. Let me just say this. Your friends are not good guides. They're awesome to play with. They're awesome to chit chat and have a beer and laugh and giggle. Your friends aren't good guides. Why? Because they're too biased. Your vision needs to be your guide moving forward. Your vision needs to be your guide. Why? Because it's going to allow you to let go so you can live your life. It's going to allow you to put your attention on where it needs to be, because whatever gets your attention gets your life. Okay, so let's look at what has our attention. Sorry for my makeshift office. You guys, I'm living in like boxes now, and I was supposed to have moved a week ago, and I might move next week. I don't really know. All I know is I'm packed as though I'm ready at any moment. So my makeshift. So if this falls over, which it probably will, forgive me. Okay. Maslow's hierarchy. Everybody's familiar with Maslow's hierarchy, right? Maslow, he was a man that charted basically like the pathway for existence as humans, right? Like we have these core needs as humans. And when I have one met, then I can meet the next need. And when I have that need met, then I can have the next need met. And when I have that one, and so forth, right? So what he determined is that we had these core needs as people. Can you guys see this? Yep, okay, great. And there's so much of this that is rich in psychology. It makes so much sense, right? And in his defense, there's so much in this that is actually really true. But I'm going to also flip it on its head today and share with you why we don't actually get to the top of what Maslow suggests that we should all get to the top of. Okay, so what he says is that our core needs is safety, security, and stability. Right? What that means, safety at a bit, these are our psychological needs. This is food, water, this is shelter, this is even reproduction, this is sex. We need it at a baseline as humans to continue to have generation after generation after generation. You stop the water, you stop some shelter, you stop the food, you stop sex, and we just stop. As humans, it ends, right? So we have psychological basic needs. Then we have our security needs. This is now I have not only a roof over my head, but I have transportation and I have a job and I have a 9-to-5 and I have consistency and some income and I have my security needs met, which means that in theory, I'm starting to feel a little bit more control of my life, right? That I have not just my need to breathe needs met, but that the need to actually be a human met, okay? Then he talks about our stability needs. Stability now is even more consistency. So stability would say, not only do I have a 9 to 5, but I actually can count on my paycheck. Now I've actually got 401k, like I have some security around me. The world kind of is starting to make sense. I have the white picket fence. I can maybe go on vacation a time or two, but now I actually have the things that make me feel secure as a person. There's consistency. Tony Robbins talks a lot about the 7 human needs. This is that idea of consistency and certainty. Okay. Once we have that, then we have space for love and belonging, right? Now I can have friends. Once I feel like as a person, I am safe and secure and stable. Now we can actually create tribe. We can actually form friendships. We can actually like build our lives with people. Once I do that and I feel like I'm loved and I belong in society, then it actually puts me in a place where I can succeed, where I can be successful. I can have a career, I can accomplish things, I can go after the things that are important to me, that I can actually grow, learn and grow. Once I do that, then it puts me in a place where I could mentally actualize. I could actualize as a human being, meaning I could fulfill my life's greatest purpose. I can manifest the best version of me. Okay, those make sense. We would even look at these and go, all of these in this order make sense. If I feel safe, physically safe, then it's easier to start to feel secure. Once I feel secure mentally and emotionally, now I actually will start to create some consistencies around me. I will start to create some securities around me. Then I can actually go in the world and start to create some relationships. Then I can actually go and do cool shit. And now I can actually be the best version of me. Like in theory, we're like, oh, that's awesome. Do those things. That makes a lot of sense. Here's the problem. Most of us don't ever get to this top part. Love and belonging, we're like, I have a lot of friends, but I can walk into a room knowing 100 people and I've never felt lonelier. Or I have 1,000 likes on YouTube and I've never felt more disconnected in my life. Anyone ever been there? Mm-hmm. Or I have friends, but they don't really know me. I can't tell you how many people I coach that they say, nobody in my circle knows the authentic me. I'm always like, can I ask a question? Who is it? And they're like, I don't even know. Whoever they need me to be. Right? Or people, we are successful, right? We even get the people who are successful and have made a lot of money, but they're like, I'm not happy. I'm actually a joke to be around. I'm a beast. I'm a time bomb, right? Or I'm depressed, right? So in theory, this makes a lot of sense, except for that the majority of humanity doesn't actually get there. And so what I'd like to propose is that we need to understand how these needs work, but we got to look at this thing differently. Okay, so what Maslow also says is that these 4 categories are called deficiency needs. What are deficiency needs? Deficiency needs basically mean that once I have them, I don't need more of them. That means that once I have a house and a car, I generally don't need 3 more houses and 4 more cars to feel better about myself. It means that once I have a core group of friends, even if I have 10,000 followers on YouTube or on Instagram, that I don't feel more valued, right? It means that once I have enough food in my belly, I don't need more food to make me feel better. There's a baseline for all of us. Research has even said that once people make over $120,000, they don't feel happier. They actually start to feel even more depressed because now they're like, oh shoot, the more money I make, I don't feel happier. I don't feel better. Now there's a line. How many of you went from making 30,000 to 70,000 and you're like, whoever said money can't buy happiness has never had money. You're like, big deal. Even 70,000 to 120,000. You're like, this is amazing. Big difference. Anything more though, you're like, I'm not happier. I'm not happier. Okay, these are called the deficiency needs. We all need them, but we have a baseline that once they're fulfilled, it's almost like it goes in and then goes back out. It's not actually designed to give us more more happiness. Okay, what he calls these top 2, success and actualization, are our growth needs, which means once I accomplish something and I cross that finish line of success, I want to do another one. I want to do it faster, or I want to do more. Why? Because we're built to build things. We are built to create. We're built to try. We're built to go at things from a new angle. We're built to actually expand our capacity. Same thing with actualization. We're never done being the best version of us. And the minute that you think you're done, you're so not done. Right? Like there's something else to learn. So what he's saying, these are growth needs. Okay. Here's the problem though. I'm going to break it into 3 sections. And we're going to look at this today and how it actually is going to impact your vision, because it's where you're probably putting your attention and you didn't even know it. Okay. So we're going to call these 3 bottom truly just what they are. They are survival. Most of us here are not physically in survival, meaning, you know, we're not afraid for our well-being. We don't go to sleep wondering if we're going to wake up. Most of us, thank God, are not afraid of physical survival needs. However, we are stuck there mentally and emotionally. So we don't feel worthy enough. We don't feel like there is enough. We don't feel, you know, we live in a world of scarcity. We are so worried that our needs are going to be met, like not physically, but like emotionally and mentally. Okay. And so we are stuck in survival mode and we are putting our attention on the not enoughness. I'm putting my attention on the lack. I'm putting my attention on the scarcity, and I'm either not taking responsibility, because I've been there, let's be honest. I'm like, I don't know, I'm good. I wouldn't check my bank account. I wouldn't change anything. I would just complain about it. And I was continuing to just go, oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine. And I wasn't willing to confront the core issues. Okay. But it also could mean that I'm so focused on my survival needs that has my attention. Talked to a lot of people these last 2 years. There's a lot that we could look around and be afraid at, but what's happening is now I'm only looking at survival, which is why I'm not thriving. Okay, is because I'm just focused on my survival needs. The next phase that most of us get stuck, where a lot of people get stuck, is my need for approval. Now, so much of what I do is connected to just the people around me. So my decisions are based upon what I physically see with my eyes. They're based upon what people think. They're based upon being enough. They're based upon people's approval. We call it people pleasing. We call it avoiding. We call it striving. We call it performing. We call it do the right things, right? And so our mode of operandi, though some of the things that we're desiring are okay, the mode or the intention or the motive behind it has gotten discombobulated because it's now for approval. It's now for acceptance. It's now to feel significant. I do this so I'll be loved. I do this so I'll be great. I do this so I will feel valued by you. Fair, Maslow's hierarchy, there's a piece of love and belonging that is super important to us as humans, unless we're subconsciously paying so much attention to doing it for those reasons that we're losing ourselves because we need approval so bad. We didn't even know it. Then there's the vision, or the great mission, we'll call it. Mission in big letters. People say that to me all the time. Are you yelling at me in your email? I'm like, they're like, it's big letters and exclamation points in everything that you do. I'm like, yeah, I think I talk in exclamation points and big letters, right? The idea of the top of this is called mission in big letters, AKA vision. This is where most of us are not paying attention. If I'm building my life focused on these bottom parts of what Maslow's hierarchy is suggesting is important, then I will continue to look at it and continue to look at it. And I will build for my survival, and I will build for my survival, and I will build to protect myself. And the likelihood of after 20, 30 years of being stuck in this physical survival mode, I've trained my brain to see nothing but survival mode. Some of you are like, yeah, but Julia, you don't understand my upbringing. You don't understand where I grew up. No, believe me, this has very little now to do with where you grew up. This actually lowers the playing field for all of us. For all of us, because what this shows is that actually now remember, we're not training our eyes for what we can see with our eyes. What we're trying to understand is like, I want to know, what does the mission say? I want to know, what does the vision say? Because Maslow says, well, if you can do all of these things, then you can actualize. And what I would like to suggest is that if you can actually see a mission and you can understand revelation and you can see a world that looks better in your mind than the one that you see today, then you are the people that this world needs. Why? Because I'm going to build my life from revelation. I'm going to build my life from mission. I'm going to build my life from vision. So when I go and look at what I need for safety purposes and what I need for security and what I need for stability and love and belonging and success, guess what? It's completely filtered from my mission, not from the bottom up. It's from the top down. This is where I think we've got it all misunderstood, no matter what your background is or how hard the upbringing was or how many positions that you were put in that were not fair, or you and I could go on and on about the stories that some of us have been through. But vision, but God, but hope, but faith. What I'm suggesting is look up and let everything be filtered from a different perspective.